This band A epidemics, I call it right now, is bound to destroy the healthcare system of this country. Come to think about a hospital. PHED sent us a letter stating that by reason of us being in band A, our monthly power bill is now coming up to 25,300,000 every month. That's crazy. Hospital is not business center. Hospitals are rendering essential services to the society. We're already struggling with the doctors leaving the country. Majority of healthcare system struggling as it were. I don't know where that all come, but I can state here that if nothing is done and done urgently to revisit that decision, I can put it to you that band A epidemics in the hospitals will turn most hospitals into morgue. It could not be an epidemic, unfortunately, could have been said to be preventable.
So please do explain to me how you think the hospitals are at a greater risk with the issue of band A. In the manner you say to turn them into morgues.
No. See, it's quite clear. Let's take the business dimension, the frustrating dimension of business out of it. Power is the life of healthcare delivery. When the light is in a hospital, patients have a sense of hope of living again. In addition to that, majority of emergency drugs and anesthetic drugs all maintain what they call coaching. Okay. There's a particular temperature. As a matter of fact, most drugs, if I should make it clear here, there's a temperature for these drugs to be maintained. But if this decision is done, as the Business Day newspaper reported that 20% of the hospitals are already shutting down, and this decision again on to strain the hospital the more, it will come to a point where most of these drugs will be in a state, as is already happening. Most time a diabetic patient will have an insulin given. You won't see any effect. Most probably, the protein content of it has already been denatured because there is no power to preserve them. I witnessed something in the course of my medical engagement where an elderly woman was to be operated. The anesthetist gave propofol, a certain volume, otherwise you make a woman to be able to relax. And the anesthetist asks, "Madam, how are you?" The woman said, "I'm fine." The anesthetist increased the dose to be able to see if this woman should be able to sleep or not. "Mama, how are you?" He said, "I'm fine." Everybody looked at each other. Was it that the woman is alcoholic to have been able to resist such a... The anesthetist increased the dose a little more and said, "Mama, how are you?" The woman said, "I'm fine. Is there any problem?" Everybody said, "Mama, get down. It is time. Let's be able to revisit." Only after evaluation, it was found that even though the drug was original, but not well preserved. That is to say, those that are diabetic in Nigeria currently should brace up, because majority of them that are insulin dependent will see no way to buy the drugs. As a matter of fact, they have to travel miles, maybe to get a hospital that may have a steady light to be sure of what they are taking. It's going to be a disaster. Why this band A is on, teaching hospitals and federal medical centers used to enjoy some relative form of life. Because perhaps they are not going to pay like other people, they are not downgrading them to band B. So that it will channel the energy to the people they feel that can pay, to the detriment of the health of the people. I can count on and on. Power is what determines whether a surgical procedure will be successful or not successful. It determines the before and after, the outcome of any surgery. If the instruments are not properly sterilized, it is signing a death sentence for our people. If nothing is done to stall this development right now, the society should brace up for what is called nosocomial infection that will be acquired from the hospital, and the type that may come up may be one that will be resistant to all antibiotics we know. That even when we start getting it right, the worst had already happened. Something has to be done right now to install the possible mutation of those organisms by reason of being allowed in an environment of no power. My heart wrecked when a teaching hospital could pack their own instruments to go and sterilize in another because they don't have light. Who taught this? That's what I'm actually worried about. What is the level of consultation for which you look at something from economic indices, perhaps of an interested individual or group, to override the health of the people of this country? No, you see, most times we look at our little privileges in life, being in government or being in a position of financial empowerment. The day emergency will come, you will not know where you will be. That's why I look at it's a stone thrown into the market, it's gonna hit hard. And it is something preventable as it is now.
So aside the hospital or the healthcare delivery system, how does this Band A issue affect other businesses across Nigeria?
See, this is beyond business analysis. It is no doubt that such decision will affect the small and medium scale enterprises. Just come to think about this. A hospital with a NEPA, or what you call power bill, of over 25 million per month, that hospital has to pay the salary of the staff. It has to buy drugs, disposable, that the cost at the moment are triple because of the dollarization of our economy. You also have to maintain these equipment, sensitive equipments, and as well, for those that have had some form of facility from the bank, we also have that responsibility to go. And at the end of the day, this is seen to be a sustainable venture. This is not a job. This is not about money. This is not about profit. This is not about business. If a mechanic has a problem with your car, you look for another spare parts. A lawyer, the worst you can get from any lawyer is to go to jail. But when it has to do with healthcare, come on. If anything goes wrong, you're endangering the family, you're endangering the society in general by the value of that individual. That's why I'm making a passionate appeal to Mr. President, to the Honorable Minister of Power, executives of Jinkos and Discos, and even directors of TCN. Please, the economic projection given to you may not have captured the overwhelming sequelae. A number of doctors, as I'm talking to you now, are sacrificially, patriotically staying back in this country, despite the mouth-watering offers they have abroad. We can't frustrate them. We can't say to hell with whatever the hospitals pass through is saying to hell to the health of our people. That we can revisit to be able to maintain what keeps us together as human, which is the health of the people. Please, let's look into this to avert this unfortunate healthcare tsunami that is about to unfold.